咁我聽香港啲朋友講啦，咁就喺香港揾工遞 CV 咧，你又可能要影埋相、寫埋年齡，到底你係男定女咁樣嘅。咁呢度咧係唔使嘅，而且係大忌嚟嘅。Hello， 大家好，我係 Kenny。咁好耐都冇同大家喺屋企拍過片啦。之前好多影片都係出街飲飲食食咁樣玩咁樣嘅。今次呢條影片啦，又或者應該咁樣講，成個 series 嘅影片咧，咁就應該大家都會好好奇嘅。之前影片亦都提及過啦。自己喺今年2022年啦，就轉咗份工，咁所以就趁我而家記憶都算係幾 fresh 嘅時候啦，咁就想同大家分享下我喺 Perth 呢度嘅揾工嘅 experience 嘅。戴翻個頭盔先嚇。以下嘅內容咧係全經驗分享嚟嘅啫。我都係不斷 trial and error 咁樣試翻嚟，跟住去不斷 improve 咁樣嘅。揾工呢啲咁大嘅件事咧，我就唔想話輕輕掂下呢個 topic 就算嘅。所以咧，我都打算喺呢個 series 嘅影片咧，都係講得比較深入啲咁樣嘅。你可以睇下我啦，其實我已經預備咗超多 notes 咁樣啦。所以咧就深入地同大家去分享下呢樣嘢啦。無論睇緊片嘅你係學生又好啦，又定係準備過嚟揾工都好啦。希望都會俾到更多 idea 你哋啦。我哋嚟緊 Borders 都真係開啦，3月3號，大家記住呢個日子啦。就希望睇完呢條片嘅大家就去熟悉下呢度嘅遊戲規則咁樣啦。揾工最緊要係乜嘢呢？就當然係我哋嘅 CV 履歷啦，同埋 cover letter 求職信嘅。點樣先可以寫到一份見得下人嘅 CV 呢？首先 CV 個格式啦，我哋最普通嘅呢就係2版要全滿嘅，千祈唔好有空位，就唔好話零零舍舍寫到我一有3/4版，跟住最尾零零舍舍1/4呢就吉咗咁樣嘅，千祈唔好。你寧願喺 CV 中間即係隔多幾行 enter 咁多幾次，即係將成個 CV 個 spacing 隔得開啲，都千祈唔好有空位存在，咁填到去滿咁樣啦。同埋如果你唔係 apply 啲咩創意行業嗰啲呢，即係譬如 graphic design media interior design 嗰啲呢，就建議你就將你嘅 CV 呢就 stick to the basic 啦，就平凡黑字字體正常，就唔好話搞到啲藍字紅字又 highlight 咁樣啦，就千祈唔好搞咁多花生啦。最多都係粗字斜體字寫咁就算啦。同埋一個 tips 俾大家啦，就係大家喺 Word 寫 CV 嗰陣咧，就建議將個 margin 咧，即係個邊位咧，就校到去 narrow 咁樣嘅。你就可以更加利用呢2頁紙，就有多啲空間，就可以塞多啲資料去 sell 自己咁樣啦。我哋 CV 開波寫咩好呢？就當然係你自己嘅個人資料啦。我聽香港啲朋友講啦，就喺香港揾工遞 CV 呢，你又可能要影埋相、寫埋年齡，到底你係男定女咁樣嘅。呢度呢係唔使嘅，而且係大忌嚟嘅。千祈唔好擺呢啲資料落去，因為間公司請你嘅原因係 depends 你嘅 skills，depends 你嘅 experience， 適唔適合做呢份工，就唔係因為你嘅年紀、性別、種族、家庭背景去決定你適唔適合呢份工嘅。或許佢哋暗地裏啦，都可能會有少少歧視學，可能你係 Asian 咁樣嘅。但係絕對佢唔可以做出面嘅。俾人發現嘅話咧，呢間公司200% 機會咧係會俾人告歧視嘅。所以大家喺開頭 CV 擺嘅個人資料咧，就其實只有你嘅名、電話、地址、email 就係咁多嘅啫，就唔需要再搞啲咩相嗰啲，就完全唔使嘅。如果大家好俾心機經營你自己嘅 LinkedIn profile 嘅話咧，不妨可以擺埋條 link 落去。但係我自己就冇擺嘅。即係自己都唔係話好玩 LinkedIn 咁樣嘅，所以 LinkedIn 呢樣嘢就 optional 啦，大家中意擺就擺啦。寫完個人資料啦，好多人咧就可能即刻開始選擇，開始入正題啦，就職位、學歷大晒啦咁樣啦。唔好咁快住，呢度咧就好中意就擺一個叫 career objectives 嘅一樣嘢，就係用簡單幾句説話去話俾人聽，你做呢一行係有啲咩目標嘅？點解 你想入呢一行咁樣嘅，即係唔係簡簡單單就話我見工 apply 咁樣嗰啲嘅，即係有少少目標咁樣嘅。咁呢個咧就大家真係要花啲心機時間去寫啦。咁大家又唔好話無聊到走去寫 I'm a recent graduate of accounting, seeking a role where I can apply my skills 咁樣嘅。咁呢啲咁嘅行貨咧，又係俾人見到咧就係禮手掉落垃圾桶噶啦。咁其實你可以寫，譬如話 enthusiastic university accounting graduate seeking a challenging position to fully utilize my skills and business studies background to the maximum。咁意思上咧，其實真係差唔多嘅，但係睇落去就其實已經 pro 咗好多啦，即係企出嚟個 feel 已經硬晒啦，唔同晒啦。咁所以大家咧就真係花少少心機去寫好呢兩句，就有一個靚嘅 starting 咁樣啦。咁寫完呢個 objective 之後啦，咁就其實可以再畫一個 section 就叫做 key skills profile 嘅。咁呢樣嘢咧就其實喺我讀 U 嗰陣啦，咁就去聽一個 seminar， 咁樣就教人點寫 CV 嘅。咁其中一位嘉賓講者啦，咁就建議咁樣做嘅。咁呢位嘉賓就話啦 ，HR 每日睇幾百份 CV， 平均睇一份 CV 其實只需要6至10秒鐘。當佢喺呢6至10秒鐘揾到佢想要嘅嘢嘅咧，佢就會自然會慢慢睇落去㗎啦。咁我聽完之後，咦，又好似又有啲道理喎。咁即係你幫輕 HR 嘅工作，變相都會增加你有 interview 嘅機會嘅喎。咁所以喺呢個 key skills profile 嗰度咧，大家可以再細分 technical skills、computer skills、language skills 同 transferable skills 咁樣嘅。咁 technical skills 顧名思義就係你嘅專業技術啦，就開始晒冷啦。譬如話 preparing project documentation such as proposal and schedules、knowledge in 乜嘢、conduct cost assessment 類似呢啲咁樣嘅嘢啦。咁比較 general 咁樣帶過就 OK 啦，就千祈唔好咁快好深入咁就篤到好底咁樣啦。咁 computer skills 嘅咧就係你識用啲咩 software 啦。咁基本盤 Microsoft Office、Word、Excel、PowerPoint、Outlook。如果你係讀 engineering 嘅朋友咧，一啲 modeling 嘅 software、design 嘅朋友Photoshop、Illustrator 等等 etc。你識啲咩軟件嘅咧，就全部擺晒落呢個 computer skills 嗰度啦。咁 language skills 咧就當然係你嘅語言能力啦。咁譬如我哋呢啲最基本嘅就係 Cantonese、Mandarin、English 呢啲全部擺晒落去啦。咁如果你係識講其他語言嘅，咁寫埋落去冇壞嘅。咁跟住就係 transferable skills 啦，就係我哋成日講嘅 soft skills 啦。譬如車牌你係咩 class First Aid Certificate Strong organizational skills Great attention to details 如果你係要做 shift work 嘅 ability to work flexible hours 又或者要出西嘅係 fly in fly out 嘅 willingness to travel including remote locations ability to drive long hours or distance 等等 etc 呢啲咁樣嘅嘢咧，都可以擺落去呢個 transferable skills 呢個 section 咁樣嘅。咁呢幾樣嘢咧加埋，我哋就叫一個 key skills profile 咁樣啦。咁所有嘢咧就變得非常之集中啦。咁喺第一版咧就其實已經有晒 HR 想揾嘅資料啦。咁但係我覺得啦，呢度就唔好超過半版，就真係雞精中嘅雞精。咁就所以大家要對下個招聘廣告，咁就睇下佢有啲咩 keyword， 咁再去衡量下邊啲值得擺落去，邊啲係唔值得擺落去咁樣啦。咁跟住咧就開始詳細列你嘅 employment history education background 啦。咁咩公司咩職位就開始慢慢咁樣列落去啦。咁比較近期咧就擺頂啦，咁然後就跟次序咁樣慢慢排落去啦。咁如果大家係 graduate 冇乜工作 experience 嘅話咧，就可以先考慮將 education background 擺頂，然後 employment history 擺底咁樣啦。咁跟住排完之後啦，就再喺每樣嘢咧就加幾點，就講下你啲 achievement 咁樣啦。即係譬如你幫公司慳咗幾多錢參加過啲咩大 project就真係擺一啲實質嘅數據，更加深入咁去晒冷啦。咁所以呢個位咧，你係睇得出同啱頭先 key skill profile 嗰個位咧就係有啲分別嘅。咁所以喺開頭就唔好講得咁深入住，就喺呢個 employment history 呢個位咧，就先去真係深入同大家晒冷咁樣啦。 咁當你準備緊寫你嘅 achievement 嘅時候咧，就又唔好求其寫喎。咁每一句嘅開頭就一定要用動詞去開頭。咁即係點樣啊？即係咁，我舉一個例子咁樣啦。當我自己係一個賣衫嘅 sales， 好唔好啊？咁你可能第一時間就會即刻寫到幾點就話I have the experience in customer service, great teamwork player， 跟住 handle point of sales， 跟住 stock management and display 咁樣嘅。咁呢啲咁嘅求其咧，又係俾人 skip 噶啦，嗱真係禮手 skip 咗你噶啦。咁customer service 嘅話咧，咁你咪可以寫 handle customer service including point of sales and maintain high level product knowledge。咁如果你係 teamwork 嘅話咧，你就可以寫 work collaboratively with colleagues to minimize the wait time in checkout lines during the busiest time by directing customer traffic。再俾多大家少少資料咁樣啦。咁我自己之前咧就係喺呢度做過 census 嘅，就係人口普查。咁即係香港人口普查 knock 敲門嘅叫人填表嗰啲咁樣咧。咁如果我有呢個工作經驗嘅話咧，我可以點樣寫咧？咁譬如話 maximize census participation by making contact with over 幾多個 households and report non-compliance to supervisor。再嚟多點就係話 maintain high confidentiality to all materials collected and strong focus on work health and safety issues 咁樣啦。咁雖然我呢兩個嘢啦係講緊一啲非常好簡單嘅工作，但係我咁樣寫出嚟，成件事係咪已經聽落唔同晒？咁所以大家晒冷嘅同時啦，咁記住動詞去開頭啦。咁當你晒完冷嘅時候啦，仲諗緊有啲咩寫嘅同時咧，咁呢度咧就好興會擺一個 personal interest 嘅一樣嘢嘅。咁佢嘅用意就係除咗你工作專業嗰一面之外咧，就想睇你比較人性化嘅一面嘅。咁就係 team fit 啊、cultural fit 啊，咁呢啲咁嘅嘢啦。咁會唔會話佔好大比重咧？咁我就覺得一啲啲啦。咁如果你真係有料嘅，你有 experience 嘅，佢點都會請你啦，係咪？咁所以如果大家有位嘅，咁咪寫下咯，即係譬如 travel、hiking、photography、videography、outdoor activities 咁樣啦。求其塞幾個正常落去，咁就 OK 啦。咁到最後啦，咁就係到我哋嘅 referee 啦，即係大家所講嘅 reference check 啦。咁可以係你大學嘅 professor、之前份工嘅 leader 或者 major 等等 etc 啦。總之唔係你嘅朋友就 OK 啦。咁但係聯絡資料咧，我通常都唔會直接俾佢哋嘅，我就會寫 contact details available on request 咁樣嘅。一嚟我要保護人哋嘅 privacy。咁你揾工，你唔係淨係揾一份噶嘛。咁如果你揾幾百份工嘅話，咁你係咪變相將人哋嘅電話亂咁掟出去啊？咁二嚟，如果人哋 HR 做到 reference check 嘅呢一步嘅話咧，即係好大機會你係呢份工咧係會攞到手噶啦。咁所以都算係一個俾自己好消息嘅同時啦。咁叫人哋幫個靚手講幾番好説話，咁就幫你搞掂成功去攞到呢個 offer 咁樣啦。咁我啱先都 cover 咗好多嘢啦。咁但係你要喺呢兩頁紙包含晒所有嘢。咁所以咧就要考大家喺 formatting 嘅功力啦，同埋千祈唔好串錯字 ，grammar 要完全正確。如果唔係咧，又係垃圾桶見㗎啦。咁如果睇緊片嘅你，又係揾緊工嘅話咧，而你嘅 cover letter 正少過6個 paragraph 嘅話咧，就建議睇下中間你有啲咩可以斬一斬咁樣啦，就咁將啲嘢分散少少，咁就令人容易睇啦。